Hi everyone, it's Kristen from RVA Craft here. Welcome back. It is a gorgeous summer Sunday. All the chores are done, so I thought I would get something done that's going to help my husband and I's financial future. So a couple weeks back I was having dinner with some of my close girlfriends, and we were all talking about how we're not really where we want to be financially for our age. You know, life happens, time slips by so quickly, and savings hasn't been a priority for some of us. So we had sort of a come to Jesus moment, and I'm super motivated to start saving money, start paying down some of our debts. Alright, so the first thing I picked up was this 3-ring binder, and you can see I've added some washi here. I love the glasses on this, and I love the bright colors, but above the glasses it said Nerds Rule. Now I'm nerdy, but like that's a little too nerdy for me, so I decided to cover it up with some washi. It's got a blue and white pattern that kind of matches the colors in the notebook. And then I have this washi that looks like notebook paper, so I'll write something on there, budget, or you know, get shit done or something. And then I did the same thing on the spine so I can label this and put it on a shelf and know exactly what I'm reaching for. And inside it's just a typical 3-ring binder. It's really good quality for $1. The next thing I picked up was this pencil case that matches the notebook, of course. Everything has to coordinate. You can see that it'll fit right in the 3-ring binder and has a zipper so I can put pens, pencils, highlighters, whatever I think I'm gonna need in my charts on the inside of the notebook. Everything's in one place and I don't have to go to another section of the house or go hunt for a pen, because when you need one, they're never around. Am I right? Next I picked up this 3-ring binder friendly 2-pocket folder. It's also vinyl and also blue to match the notebook. So this is where I'm just going to save any important paperwork or, you know, upcoming huge bills that we need to figure out how to pay for, we need to save for. That's what I'll save in here, and then once they're paid, take them out, put them in the filing cabinet. Clear sheet protectors, 16 sheets for $1, so that's a pretty good deal. The last thing I picked up was this set of 5 tab dividers. Comes in 5 different colors. So for just $5 I got 5 items, and hopefully spending $5 is going to help me make a whole ton of money in savings. Alright, so my notebook's all finished. I'm just going to walk through the sections I have and what kind of charts I put in here to visually see how much money we're saving and how quickly we're paying off our debt. So first you can see in my pen case I put some highlighters, a pen, and a pencil in there. Now the first section is our monthly budget, and I covered up the amounts for our bills for obvious reasons, but the 2 areas where we fail the most often in our budget, as you can see the 2 at the bottom, groceries and household. I love to go to Target, and you know, when you go to Target, I'm sure I'm not the only one, where you go in for 1 or 2 things and you end up spending at least $100. So I'm really working on my Target spending. I'm really working on our grocery budget, but those are the 2 areas that vary the most from month to month, so those are the 2 I want to focus on the most. And as you can see at the bottom, our savings goal every month is going to be at least $500. And the way that I'm hoping to achieve that, in addition to watching both the grocery and household budget, is to use a zero-based budgeting system, which I've seen all over YouTube. I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but the way that I'm going to do it is every time we get paid, whatever's left in our checking account that day before I add in our paycheck, I'm going to move that amount to savings. So we're basically starting at 0 every time we get paid. I've done it 1 paycheck so far, and we've already made a significant chunk of the savings for the month. So the next section is savings. So I have 2 charts in here. The first one is from the College Prepster, and it's basically the 52-week savings plan, which I've also seen all over YouTube. There are printables on Pinterest. And this is basically for the 52 weeks of the year. For each week, you save the amount of dollars that correspond to that week number. So week number 1, you save $1, put it in a jar, forget about it. Week number 2, you save $2, you have a total of $3 in the jar, forget about it. And then you go on for the entire year. So at the end of the year, after 52 weeks, you have $1,378. Hopefully that's going to work out well for us. The problem is just going to be the discipline to move the money every pay period rather than just leaving it in there just in case. I'm going to move it into savings. Obviously, if something bad happens, if we need the money for a repair or something goes wrong, we will pull it out of savings, but I think this is the best way to just make sure the money isn't so visible to us. If it's not as accessible, I'm not going to spend it as often. So the next section is savings. So I have 2 charts in here. The first one is from the College Prepster, and it's basically the 52-week savings plan, which I've also seen all over YouTube. There are printables on Pinterest, and this is basically for the 52 weeks of the year. for each week, you save the amount of dollars that correspond to that week number. So week number 1, you save $1, put it in a jar, forget about it. Week number 2, you save $2, you have a total of $3 in the jar, forget about it. After 52 weeks, you have $1,378. Why didn't we ever think of this? The second chart that I have is just a mason jar printable that I just did a Google image search for a mason jar, and I added the gray lines in Photoshop. I just have tick marks for the amount of money that we're putting in savings. So our first goal to hit is $10,000 in savings. So I have 10 lines, and as we save money every month, I'm gonna highlight this and hopefully we'll fill up the mason jar pretty quickly. So the next section is mortgage. The next 3 sections I just have charts from Debt Free Charts blog, and I'll link that in the description box. So I have one for the mortgage. I haven't added the amount of money in here just for our privacy, but I'm gonna add tick marks on the side. I have the same kind of chart for our home equity line, and then the same kind of chart for my car that I just bought. Now I never just pay our regular monthly payment for the mortgage, the equity line, and the car. I always at least round up to the next $100 just to make it an even amount. And if we can afford more in our budget, I will work it in. I don't know how this is gonna work. You know, we can't be so aggressive with all of these things at once, with the savings and the car and the mortgage and the equity line, but I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do my best, but I'm also gonna be realistic so I don't feel deprived at the end of the month and not have any money left over for any fun or going out to eat or having fun with friends. We wanna pay off our debt and we wanna have more money in savings, but we also wanna have a good life as well. It's not just about how much money you have in the account. I know it helps, and I know it's gonna help us retire earlier, but we also gotta have some fun along the way, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you create your own budget notebook, let me know in the comments below. All right, have a great day. Bye.